In those days, the multitude being very great and having nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples unto him and saith unto them, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have now been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. And if I send them away fasted to their own houses, they will faint by way, for divers of them came from far. And his disciples answered him, From whence can a man satisfy these men with bread here in the wilderness? And he asked them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, Seven. He commanded the people to sit down on the ground. And Jesus the Christ took the 7 loaves and gave thanks, and he brake and gave to his disciples to set before them. And they did set them before the people, and they had a few small fishes, and he blessed and commanded to set them also before them. So they did eat and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets. And they that had eaten were about 4,000, and he sent them away, and straightway he entered into a ship with his disciples, and came into the parts of Dalmanutha. And the Pharisees came forth and began to question with him, seeking of him a sign from heaven, tempting him. And he sighed deeply in his spirit, and saith, Why doth this generation seek after a sign? Verily I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. The president should just shut all the churches down and let the homeless take the churches over. The churches aren't doing anybody any good. They're a bunch of selfish assholes. And the only thing that Christianity, from my understanding of the white women in Kentucky, Christianity allowed them to abuse children and abuse children and abuse children some more, be a bunch of racist assholes. They pass each other around so they could abuse each other's children, exploit each other's children, enslave each other's children, torture them, but don't ever respect them or talk to them or be a family. Don't ever be for love, or don't ever be for family. Christianity was very much anti-love and anti-family and anti-goodness. It was very much in favor of evil. Why do we need white women to attack children? And then the white woman said, don't hit a woman. I'm a child. Don't hit a woman. But you're hitting kids. How's that okay? You hypocrite. Don't hit a woman because you're smaller and weaker. Okay. So how in the hell are you allowed to hit children? We're not weaker. Okay, whatever. And the Pharisees came forth and began to question with him, seeking of him a sign from heaven, tempting him. And he sighed deeply in his spirit, and saith, Why doth this generation seek after a sign? Verily I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. And he left them, and entering into the ship again, departed to the other side. Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread, neither had they in the ship with them more than 1 loaf. And he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned amongst themselves, saying, It is because we have no bread. And when Jesus knew it, he saith unto them, Why reason ye, because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not yet, neither understand? Have ye your heart yet hardened? Heaven eyes see ye not, and ears hear ye not, and do ye not remember? And when I break the 5 loaves among 5,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? They say unto him, 12. And when the 7 among 4,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? And they said, 7. And he said unto them, How is it that ye do not understand? And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon them, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up, and he said, I see men as trees walking. After that he put his hands again upon his eyes, and made him look up, and he was restored, and saw every man clearly. And he sent him away to his house, saying, Neither go into town, nor tell it to any in the town. And Jesus went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea Philippi, and by the ways, towns of Caesarea Philippi. And by the way, he asked his disciples, Bethsaida? He asked his disciples, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, John the Baptist, but some say Elias, and others one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Peter answered and saith unto him, Thou art the Christ. And he charged them, and they should tell no man of him. And he began to teach them, and that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he spake that saying openly, and Peter took him and began to rebuke him. But when he had turned about and looked on his disciples, he rebuked Peter, saying, Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but the things that be of men. And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. And for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul, and lose his own soul, and lose his own soul? For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. So, a lot of craziness there, but what I didn't read is that white women get to hit children, white women get to be racist against black folks. You know, the South, the Confederates would use Christianity to defend their horrible institution of slavery. A bunch of right-wing, racist, child-abusing piles of shit. Christianity is just such a waste. It's just such a waste. Like chapter 8, I don't remember anywhere where it says white women get to hit children over and over again. It's talking about Jesus caring about people, going around taking the blind man, holding his hand, taking the blind man, spitting his eyes, but just to make him see again. So he's doing all these miracles, but a doctor, right? So he's going around healing the sick, right? He's on the side of the lepers. He's on the side of the deaf. He's on the side of the dumb. He's on the side of the blind. And he's healing these people. He's also an exorcist, and he's telling people to be gone, devil, get out of this person. So a lot of insanity, but ultimately it seems like he's a nice, kind, gentle person. Where does it say he goes around beating up children and telling the white women to beat up children? Where the hell does it say that white women are allowed to abuse children? Where does it say that? I mean, the Catholics, and don't they have a huge fucking problem with goddamn child abuse? Where does it say that at? I don't read it anywhere in this. So that's chapter 8, the book of Mark. Now I'm going to read this later. But coming up, the age of reason, Thomas Paine. He wants to talk about religion, what he thinks about the religion. Let's get a paragraph in. I do not believe in the creed professed by the Jewish church, by the Roman church, by the Greek church, by the Turkish church, by the Protestant church, nor by any church that I know of. My own mind is my own church. All national institutions of churches, whether Jewish, Christian, or Turkish, appear to me no other than human inventions set up to terrify and enslave mankind and monopolize power and profit. It is all power and money game. That's it. Listen to him. He's the father. I'm the father. Give me your money. Don't listen to your children. Abuse your kids. Well, we gotta listen to him. He's the boss. He's got this big old house. You know, how could he afford this big old house? And he's got a big farm. He stole your money. That's how he took it. This makes me think of Voltaire. Voltaire said there's two reasons for religion. You're gonna have religion, fine. There's two main reasons, for order or for goodness. You're teaching virtuous people, okay, that makes sense. But if you're just a violent, bullying piece of shit, you don't educate, you don't even talk to your children, there's Christianity. Where does it say that too? Jesus says to mother and father, don't you ever talk to your children, respect your children, or help your children out in any fucking way, shape, or form? No, Jesus was about love and family and togetherness. He was actually very much opposite of all that shit. So, man, yeah, there's so many fucking bullshit fake Christians out here. Where are the Jesuses at? Anybody? You know, that's another thing. White women didn't read the Bible and then read it to me or say, hey, this is how Jesus lived and so therefore we should live. They're just like, I love Jesus and that makes me a good person. I love Jesus. Do you care about the poor? I guess, sure. Why not? So if it's not for order and it's not for goodness, fuck your religion. There's no point for your fucking religion. What the fuck is your religion even fucking doing? It's not for goodness and it's not for order. Just to be a fucking piece of shit? Well, the good book says I get to be a piece of shit. I did see a religious person. She just wanted to keep hitting that poor boy. 2 kids, but the adults was making the girl hit the boy. And who knows what the hell had happened, but the girl really wanted to hit him. Really, really wanted to hit him. Who knows if he wronged her, but when she found out that she was allowed to take this stick and hit that guy over there, God, she couldn't hurry up. Man, give me 2 sticks. I can't. I'll hit him. I'll hit him 100 times. Man, this is fun. I like this. Thank you, everybody, for letting me do this. It was against the Palestinians. It was against a poor Palestinian boy. Palestine, isn't that Bethlehem? Oh, little town. So against the Jesus Christ. No, I just really want to hit this little Jesus. I mean, he's freaking 6. What the hell could a 6-year-old to deserve something like that? Meanwhile, James Holmes. Meanwhile, this fucking piece of shit. You think anybody's gonna flog him, spank him, cane him? The fucking guy that stabbed all those guys in Idaho. You think anybody's gonna spank him or flog him? Anybody gonna embarrass him? Anybody gonna... If we're going to allow child abuse, I mean, if you can get away from the child abuse by going to jail. You can get away from your homelessness and poverty. I mean, it sucks to be in jail, but our society isn't taking care of people. We don't believe in preventive medicine. We wait for emergency room medicine. No love and compassion, just a bunch of fascism, just a boot in the face. It's fucking bullshit. We could do so much better.